Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to you on this November 10th, 2025. I have all your stories for your rush hour ride to work. Now, if you're a New England Patriots fan like me, it's nothing but W's coming out right now. The Patriots on a, 7-game winning streak. Drake May in the running for the MVP. And what's this? We also have some wins for Baldoni. We also have some wins for the Justice for Clayton community. I mean, is Christmas coming early or what? We'll get into all of these stories, plus not a win for Jeremy Renner. It looks like he's screwed, as we've got some receipts coming out from his famous director refuting some of his claims. It might be the next Blake versus Baldoni, but I wouldn't want to be in Jeremy's shoes. Innocent until proven guilty. We'll get into all those stories and more. Starts right now on The Rush. All right, so we'll get into the Baldoni stuff in a minute. I'm going to cover what his attorney said on a podcast, the TMZ podcast, which refutes their earlier story, which led to dozens of articles making false claims, including, podcasts like Nick Viall's taking victory laps prematurely. So we'll get into all that in a second. But how about this? The Barista Cup, we've got this global, we have this huge issue, right? People can't afford their groceries. And what does Starbucks do? It comes out with a $30 bear-shaped mug. I kind of want to buy it, but you can't get it. It's sold out all over the country. Have a listen.
We were able to borrow this one. I had to give my credit card and 3 pints of blood just for this. I have to give this back.
Wow.
There's a gentleman right over there wanting this. 20-ounce cup costs just under $30. And here's what a Starbucks spokesman told NBC News. Despite shipping more barista cups to coffee houses than almost any other merchandise item this holiday season, the barista cup has sold out fast.
There it is. So if anyone's got one for me out there, please send it my way. They're fighting over it in New Jersey.
Trying to get their hands on Starbucks' newest holiday product. This is their new 20-ounce glass barista cup. It went on sale on Thursday.
All right, so you can't buy it. It's adorable as hell. I'll give them credit for that. Well, how about this? Speaking of adorable, some more Clayton Eckerd news. He's our little barista himself. We love Clayton. Well, breaking news came out over the weekend. New court documents for the state of Arizona versus Laura Michelle Owens. New indictment charges. Christmas has come early. Clayton didn't, but let's get into it. So I'm not going to share every single charge that's on this document, but if you're new to my channel, you know that, or you don't know that, I am a star witness. Speaking of taking a victory lap, I like to take one here. I am a star witness for the state of Arizona in what is shaping up to be an absolute wild trial. They might have to push the trial back. There's more information coming out. Will Laura Owens' mother be charged as a co-conspirator? Either way, they got her on forgery, perjury. No, I'm not repeating myself. These are all different charges. The lady knows how to lie. So they go into a little bit of detail over, in which case she committed the perjury, the sworn false statements, taking other people's identity on or about March 1st, 2024, in regard to a material issue believing to be false. She made false sworn statements, claimed that Laura Owens did not send ultrasound to Greg Gillespie. These are all things that we proved on our channel. Our community, the Justice for Clayton community, handed over a trove of information. It's on the internet. You can go access it. We stopped a con woman. We did. We stopped her dead in her tracks, metaphorically speaking. There's other accusations here about her taking the identity of other people. Of course, we know the identity of who she was stealing. She was stealing the identity of a fine lady in Texas named Stormy. Stormy had an ultrasound that she put on the internet called invisible twin syndrome. It's when, sadly, you miscarry one of the twins and then only one is born, right? It's a terrible, I can only imagine how tragic that is. Well, Laura stole that ultrasound. She used it. She sent it to this guy, Greg Gillespie, claiming that he was the father of her unborn babies. And not only that, she just lied out of her mind about it, even though we've got video of her sending it while she's on the phone with him. Say what you want. Greg Gillespie crossed his T's and dotted his I's. He provided this evidence. Sadly, 5 years ago, nobody cared about it until Laura flew too close to the sun. son, and tried to pull this move on the Bachelor Clayton, which got into our hands. And of course, the more you look into it, the more you see how horrible this is. Now, you might remember our audience is the best audience in the world. We raised money for Stormy's surviving son. One of course, the twins did not make it, and the surviving one had a birthday, and we raised some money for her. No questions asked. Go have a great birthday party. All because our audience just wanted to do something good for somebody in this otherwise just terrible situation, right? Terrible situation. So here's an actual moment where Laura lies through her teeth. Just Jen on Twitter, just_Jen5072, said, watch how easily Laura lies. She denies ever having a sonogram with Greg, denies sending a sonogram to him. Here's a video she did with her attorney on December 13th, 2024. 8 months earlier, Dave and Megan found the Fiverr watermark logo. Again, this is what she claims she didn't send. We have the evidence she sent it. Not only that, we were able to uncover a Fiverr logo. She had one of those reverse image, watermark removals used, and clearly the logo was there. We found it live, of course. That'll be in the documentary. And here's what she had to say with her lawyer regarding the lies coming out of her mouth that she's now being held accountable for.
Gillespie is who I had.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Gillespie. Yeah. Oof.
I was too early on to get a sonogram or anything, so it was terminated, very, very early on.
Gillespie and Dave Neal said that you sent him a sonogram with a Fiverr logo on it or something, or a sonogram.
Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about.
According to you, you never sent a sonogram to Gillespie, but he said that you did.
Right, he did, but he also knew I was too early to get a sonogram. That's why this doesn't even make any sense. I was too early, and I sued him for abortion coercion for the fact that he made me get an abortion.
So your side of the...
And by the way, he didn't make her get an abortion. She said, if you agree to date me, I'll get an abortion. He said, sure. And then afterwards he said, not. He didn't push any pills down her throat. So either way, just wild stuff. And by the way, you can see here, I'm on his naughty list. Omar's on that list. He ended up representing Mike Maricini, the other victim who finally has his restraining order she has on him dropped. So nothing but losses for Laura and her attorney. The only thing, he didn't even get a paycheck for all of this. All he got is a trusty DUI trial. It's weird times indeed. Okay, so from one bizarre story to another, coming up next, we're going to cover a very interesting response from Cool Hand Luke here, power attorney Brian Friedman. I have this after a quick word from our sponsor. Telehealth has made mental health care more convenient and accessible for millions of people. Finding a suitable therapist and the expensive out-of-pocket costs still keep many from getting the care they need. Rula is on a mission to make high-quality mental health care from a licensed professional easy and affordable for everyone. Rula's got you covered. They take most major insurance plans, and the average copay is only $15 per session. Rula partners with a network of over 15,000 therapists and psychiatrists nationwide, enabling you to find your personalized solution and the right therapist for you. Thousands have already trusted Rula to support them on their journey toward improved mental health and overall well-being. Head on over to Rula.com/rush hour to get started today. After you sign up, they ask you where you heard about them. Please support the show. Tell them that we sent you. Go to RULA.com/rush hour. Take the first step towards better mental health today. You deserve quality care from someone who cares. So as we know by now, Justin Baldoni was the subject of an article by TMZ on Halloween. They got it absolutely wrong. And the article sort of, I guess not just implied, but pretty much said it's over for Baldoni, right? It's over. He's got no other legal avenues in his defamation suit, even though he still is allowed to appeal. They got it wrong because that Rolling Stone, all these other people talked about it. Well, now we're finally going to get down to the nitty gritty. TMZ admitting they got it wrong. This is Brian Friedman in the Center on Two Angry Men podcast, interviewed by the TMZ creator, Harvey Levin. And I'm going to play two clips. The first is Harvey asking how the deposition of Blake Lively went.
In a year.
You took Blake's deposition, right?
I did.
So how'd that go? Did you score points? Can you give us some overview?
I don't think I'm allowed to talk about that.
But what about broadly? Are you satisfied that what you got out of that deposition could torpedo her claim of sexual harassment?
I think Broadly, I can just say this, that I'm really, really looking forward to the trial. It's been a long time coming. There's been a lot of noise about the case. Some of the most difficult parts, I think, about hearing about the case in the media has been mainstream media and how mainstream media has treated the case. And if you look at it, and you really kind of zero in on it, there are a lot of reasons why mainstream media has taken this case and twisted the words and misrepresented what's really been going on in the case. And it's done that in part because there are, big time, powerful, important relationships with certain people and certain media, that's owned by, very few people.
Look, I mean, he's not wrong in the sense that the access they get from Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, he's a top dog with his talent agency. On the producer level, he's got a lot going on. But I also think the reason why they get it wrong is because it benefits mainstream media to be as salacious as possible. So I don't think that they are nefariously pro Blake. I think they're going to pull whatever they can out of context and throw it on a headline and try to get as many clicks as possible, because that's kind of the thing that sells in this world, is how many views and impressions you can get. I will share what Not Actually Golden had to say in response to Brian Friedman teasing that he's looking to go to trial. She believes that it's kind of a leverage for a possible settlement. Now, here is where Brian Friedman confronts Harvey Levin for TMZ not only getting the story wrong, but never even really offering an update.
Ask you a question. How did you get the story wrong about the appeal?
Well, I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus in my office. So
I don't want names. I just assume somebody called.
And by the way, with ChatGPT, if you don't know what a motion says or a ruling says, you can upload it, and in 3 seconds, it'll give you a pretty good knowledge. Not to mention, Harvey Levin was a practicing lawyer, so you think they could figure it out.
I know. And here's the thing. I think it was analyzed wrong. I think it was just analyzed wrong. I don't know all the specifics, but I know kind of how this thing worked. And when I got involved in this thing, it became apparent that our story was wrong. And what my goal was at that point was, you got to make a correction if we're wrong. And tell me if we're wrong, and let's figure it out.
I mean, when you make a correction, it shows up in the article. It says update, but the article doesn't have any of that. So to me, it appears maybe they adjusted the title. Either way, our good pal Katie, without a crystal ball, said that the order was absolutely clear that the judge would not allow an appeal until after he ruled on attorney's fees. She said she sent a message on Saturday to a producer of TMZ with the court order. This is last Saturday. I told them they got the story wrong, and now every other outlet is reporting off of them. The producer read the message, did not respond, did not correct the article. I'm sick and tired of influencers and YouTubers having to be the ones doing better journalism than so-called journalists. It's quite annoying, but either way, here we are.
But
you know what the problem is?
It was just not analyzed right. It wasn't. I think the counting of it, Brian, in terms of the final judgment, I mean, this is what I think, that wasn't calculated in this. It was more when whatever that was filed, that was the countdown stage. I think that was it. I think that's what would happen here. That they didn't count.
I'm gonna come to your defense, Harvey.
Well, I'm not asking for.
Are they gonna let the other guy talk or what? What the hell?
Defense.
I think what happened is somebody in the overnight crew.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
You go to bed. You're in
There's
bed
not.
with my toddler.
Okay, stop it.
And then you're asleep, and then.
When in doubt, blame it on an intern. So either way, that's what you have there. But of course, a lie travels twice around the world before the truth puts its shoes on, or whatever the hell the saying is, right? Don't forget, Nick Viall didn't correct the story either. Here's this pompous, smug asshole taking his victory lap a little too soon. False start, Nick.
They're countersuing. He's taking a lot of L's right now that you're not really hearing about, which is fascinating. It's almost as if
it's almost as if he has
power on the internet.
Yeah, the PR campaign really, doing his work. Anyway,
Oh shit!
told you so.
Told you. It never gets old. Told you so. No, you didn't. Okay. Yeah, we're having fun. I don't have a voice, but if you're going to blow your voice on anything, it's going to be making fun of Nick Viall. Boy, it just comes too easy, right? All right. Lastly, let's go to Not Actually Golden and what she has to say about the sort of, I don't know if you want to call it a dick measuring contest. Is that too much for a Monday morning? But the ego the conversation that Brian Friedman is having about looking forward to going to court. And really what that is trying to have as much leverage in the hopes of a settlement. I mean, in the end, they all want to settle. That's the safest sure bet they can have.
I think this case is going to go to trial and, this needs to go to verdict. And how did he put it? Who you really are as a person comes out in a trial. And I think that the jury will see who Justin Baldoni is. That is very classic pressure that one party puts on another to be like, you really want to take this shit to trial? I think that there is pressure and conversation going on behind the scenes. I mean, I cannot believe that they had that conversation for as long as they did, and nobody raised the fact that there is a dispositive motion on all of Blake Lively's major claims sitting on the table right now.
Yeah, look, if you're Blake Lively, you maybe you have enough yes men around you that makes you think you want to take this to trial, but no rational person that I know thinks that's a good idea for her. I want it to go to trial. Why? Because I want to spend $5,000 on a studio apartment in New York City for the month of March? No, but I will. But I want it to go to maybe Wayfair could get me an apartment. Hey, I'll take that Jenny Slate apartment she didn't want. Does anyone in New York have a nice apartment I can stay at? Either way, look, I want to see it play out. I know that's better than some sort of closed door settlement where everyone signs NDAs and you don't hear anything afterwards. Although, to be quite honest, at this point, I don't know who would pay who. Justin Baldoni needs to get his truth out there. Okay, I don't always do this, but I've actually got a second part to the morning episode of the Rush Hour podcast, which is coming up next, and it's Jeremy Renner. He sent a cease and desist letter to a filmmaker he was working with, claiming that she's making all this stuff up about him online. Well, she has responded to that, dropping all of the receipts. She has some pretty bombshell accusations about him. If it's true, I don't see him working again. This story is coming up next.